Okay, guys, thanks for coming out. It was a good long scrimmage, a lot of plays. Guys, everybody got a chance to go compete, so it's just what we needed. But now we need to take a little rest before we get into next week's action. So with that, I'll open it up.
I guess what's your initial evaluation of what you saw from the defense?
You know what? There was some breakdowns defensively. Gave up a couple of big plays. I think we have to be more. We need to execute with more precision. I don't think we're far off, but you don't have to be far off. So we have to make sure that we're fitting the runs more precisely and that we're playing technique in the pass game. We did some good things, third down and that kind of stuff, but you got to stop the run.
Greg, your thoughts on the quarterbacks and AJ, getting more look now as the backup?
Yeah, I thought all three quarterbacks were impressive. I thought they had command of the offense. Obviously, Ethan, I think, is playing at a high level. AJ really had a good day. And I thought Sean really did some good things too, showing that he has a feel for the game and for the offense. So I thought it was an impressive showing by all three of them. And then Rocco got in, and as Rocco does, he made some things happen. So it was good.
Greg, I wanted to ask you about the defense as a whole. It's now 2 weeks into camp, replaced a lot of guys, a lot of new players, a lot of new coaches. How do you feel they're all kind of adjusting to? I know it's a similar scheme, but.
Yeah, I think we're gelling, but I think there's definitely an adjustment period, and this will be great to have. This is the first live tackling we've done. So a lot of times the whistle will blow in practice when we're thudding, and, you think it's a 2nd and 8. Well, no, it isn't. It's 2nd and 3. Well, that's a big difference, right? The play defenses they get called on 2nd down are much different on 2nd and 3 than on 2nd and 8. So I think a little bit of when they watch the tape, okay, now I get why I have to squeeze all the way down. It's not good enough to squeeze halfway down. I got to squeeze all the way down to the next man, because that little piece of daylight is where runs were creasing. And, it's awfully hard to play behind the chains on defense. I thought we were behind the chains a lot, especially early in the scrimmage.
A bit of a different environment for this one. Obviously, you mentioned everyone gets a chance to compete, play in the stadium for first time this summer. Is there a position group or a unit that you feel like benefits the most from that kind of change of scenery today?
No, I think it's the whole team. Like I really, early in my career, through my experience, I kind of understood if you make the stadium a kind of a sacred place and you only go in there to do games and game-like stuff, the players really have a sense of a heightened awareness when you go in there. And that's what we try to make it. So I felt like there was an excitement about going into the stadium and playing, and I thought that, it was a long scrimmage. And I thought our focus was good for the entire scrimmage, which is hard. It's not easy for guys to focus that long, let alone during the season when that's a game. But, these guys have been going at it all day, every day in training camp. And to come in here with the level of focus, both sides of the ball and the kicking game, I was very pleased with that.
Greg, this is the first time we talked since the NCAA filed a brief on Elad and added to that situation. Just how are you guys handling it, and how do you see him handling it personally, having a new development on a situation I'm sure he thought was done with in the spring?
Yeah, we don't talk about it much, to be frank. That's out of our control. We worry about the things that are in our control. We have good lawyers. We believe we're correct on this, so we'll trust the lawyers. And Jet's having a very good camp and really playing very well. And I thought he played well today. So, just go about our business and make sure that we are controlling the things that we are in control of.
A lot of different guys in the running back room. How did you feel about that unit today and as training camp has gone on, and kind of the run game as a whole?
Yeah, I thought Coach Shaw did an excellent job of making sure that each back had as equitable a distribution of carries, plays, different lines they played behind, different defenses they played against. And you can imagine, right, there's a lot of variables when you have 3 running backs, different O-lines, different defenses. It took quite a bit of planning, but it was done, I think, very, very well. So I think this tape will be a great evaluation tool because, again, until you get tackled or until you break tackles as a running back, you don't know, right? I mean, we all remember Kyle. One of his big things was yards after contact, right? That's something that, we bank on in this offensive scheme.
Greg, this is the first time we speak to you since Kelly's officially been named the AD. In an ideal world, what does that relationship look like between your program, the athletic department, and just how does that all work out in an ideal world for you?
Yeah, I had a chance to visit with Kelly, and I'm very confident that she's going to do an excellent job and that she'll be a huge help for football. Huge. Can't wait to work with her. Left the meeting really excited that we're on the same page and we all want the same things, and now we just need to work together to get them done.
Greg, you got Abram right back from injury. Is he ahead of schedule, and where do you see him kind of fitting in early in the season?
I think he's really done some good things, He worked really, really hard in his rehab to get back. And, I think that hats off to the medical staff because they worked equally as hard. He's one of those guys that'll do whatever you're told, and he just kept asking for more. And I think he's really performed well in camp, and I thought he did some good things again today. So Abram is definitely an arrow-up guy.
Ethan's talked about how much more comfortable he feels in the offense just with another year. I guess, what have you seen in training camp to indicate that maybe he's mastered this to a different level, and kind of what have your impressions been of it?
Well, I think Ethan's really comfortable with the offense. He's really comfortable with his environment, and he's really comfortable with this team because this is his team. I think a year ago he came in and had to win a job. So it's awful hard to lead others when you're competing for a job. Everybody on the team knows who the quarterback is, and he's done a very good job of leading. And the first part of leading is doing your job. And he's done a very good job of taking care of his business and now very involved in leading our team. So, that's definitely a plus when your quarterback and one of your best players is one of your hardest workers and a team leader. It sure works well. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, thank you, guys.